Lovely day on the studios of the Nigerian Television Authority, the largest TV network in Africa, and the program precisely is Weekend Deal. Today is the 25th day of January 2020. But I know that in the minds of a lot of people, it feels like 45, 52, January is said to be the longest month. And I always tell people, when you're done with your dirty December, you come back and meet a humble January, isn't it?
True. You can see that again. It's so long, it's not ending.
You know, each day has 48 hours. At the end of it, end of 60, this thing.
I mean.
Okay. Now, our focus today, it's very interesting. On Thursday, 28th of November 2019, Nigeria got its first digital economy diagnostic report. And a lot of things were, for us, a take-home, including for Nigeria to focus on accelerating the 5 pillars of digital economy, fundamental pillars. Now, the question going on in the minds of a whole lot of people, including me, is, one, what are those fundamental pillars for us? And to a lot of people too, what really is digital economy? Is it not just sending WhatsApp message, text messages?
Okay, let me take it from there, Elizabeth. Digital economy simply refers to an economy that is run based on digital technologies. That is online marketing, buying and selling online is a very huge market. Let me take us back a little bit. You remember in those days where to send money to a loved one, you have to go to the bank, join that very annoying queue,
long queue,
send that money, and you're not even sure, the person might not even get it as soon as you want. You come back, or the person needs to, they didn't even have alert at that time.
No, they used to go to the bank
to check if they have sent you that money.
But I'm sure you didn't have bank accounts.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you want to buy anything at that time from abroad, you look for somebody who lives there. You send money to that person, he or she buys it, sends it to you. It takes forever. These days, the ease of doing business is amazing. With a click of a finger, in the comfort of your own home, you can transact businesses, no matter how huge these businesses are. That is what digital technology has done for us. And it has come to stay, and it keeps improving every day. And you know how we do it. If it is important to you, we will deal. Elizabeth, it is Weekend Deal.
You know,
Africa's
while I'm thinking about, you know, telling you that you look very digital, and I'm about to begin to sell it.
I was going to say that. Elizabeth has a way of taking these things from my mouth. Elizabeth look all digital, and I was thinking they buy and sell online. I can just
sell Elizabeth.
Yes.
Weekend Deal. All right, it's Weekend Deal, and the deal is just starting. If you're just joining us, you're right on time, even though you missed a bit about the news and current affairs part of it. Right about now, we told you we're going to be discussing digital economy, and we have someone who is, you know, overqualified, super qualified to help us deal with that topic. Who is that guest? He is the minister, but let me leave it at that. You will get to have him, but for now, let's take a backgrounder.
Our focus this morning is on digital economy. It is so important. If we have a vibrant and robust digital economy, it will help Nigeria unleash new economic opportunities, create jobs, and transform lives, even as we know it. It is very important. And that's why today on the show, we have the apex man as far as digital economy is concerned to discuss this very important topic. Yes. Please help me. Welcome to the Weekend Studio, our digital minister. That's what I call him. He just came in here, and Lizzie and I have he's talked to us digitally. Sir, Dr. Issa Patomi, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored
You're
to be
welcome
with you
to
here.
the studio.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you. I'm really honored.
Weekend Deal, it's one show that every Nigerian, outside Nigeria, inside Nigeria, queue into. And so with that, we are telling them, you can actually call in, not call, actually. Send your
messages,
WhatsApp or your text messages. The minister is going to be here with us for a long time. He will answer all your messages. So go ahead while we welcome the Honorable Minister, who was at a point the Director General and CEO of the National Information Technology Development Agency. But today, he is the Minister of Communication, Digital Economy in Nigeria. Now, before it was just communication, I'm wondering, why did they attach the digital economy to it?
So, good morning, all of you. I think this is a very important question. I'm glad to be with you here to use this platform and explain what digital economy means for Nigeria and Nigerians. The reason why digital economy has been attached to the name of the ministry and the mandate has been expanded is because of the fact that, firstly, according to the decision of our International Telecommunications Union, World Economic Forum, and many more international bodies, we need to move from just ICT to digital economy. This has been recommended, and that is why you will find out that many countries started even before Nigeria. In Europe, Scotland has a minister in charge of digital economy. In Asia, if you go to Thailand, they have a ministry of digital economy. Even here in Africa, before we started, Burkina Faso has already have a minister of digital economy. Because why? The whole world is going into digital economy today. According to Oxford Economics, since in 2016, the value of our digital economy was up to 11.5 trillion USD, which was around 16% of world economy. And according to World Economic Forum, by 2020, a minimum of 60% of the world economy is going to be digitalized. So that is why digital economy now is the new trend of ICT. So it is because of this we feel, since our federal government, the federal government of Nigeria, wants to diversify its economy. Instead of relying so much on oil and gas, the government has been planning to diversify economy, starting from economic recovery and growth plan. That idea came up that ICT and digital economy are the key areas that we need to focus more in order to diversify our economy. So it is because of that willingness to diversify the economy. Secondly, to align ourselves with the global best practice. And number three, to change the perception of Nigerians about using digital technologies for socialization. Now we are to use digital economy in order to improve and support our economy individually and collectively.
Okay.
So these are some of the reasons, and the name has been redesignated by the federal government of Nigeria, most importantly my boss President Muhammad Buhari, on 17 October 2019, and it was announced on 23rd October 2019, and we started the implementation the next day, 24th October 2019.
Okay, so now let's dig in. We know that there was a diagnostic report by the World Bank, and they strain our digital economy and how to move forward. And some of the things they recommended was that we should improve on our pillars, the 5 pillars. They're talking of digital structures, platforms, entrepreneurship, skills, and all that. Have we started yet?
Actually, we have started. If you could recall vividly, on 28th November 2019, my boss, Mr. President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, was at the International Conference Center here in Abuja, where he unveiled and launched our national digital economy policy and strategy for a digital Nigeria. In that document, however, The report you are making reference to is that of the World Bank.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nigeria Digital Economy Report Diagnostic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have it and I read it as well. But in Nigeria, in order to make it much easier for us, we have 8 pillars.
Oh, 8.
For our digital economy.
What's the extra 3?
So number 1 is developmental regulations.
Okay.
I have not captured that one. Wow. Number 2 is digital literacy and skills. Number 3 is solid infrastructure. Number 4 is service infrastructure. Number 5 is digital services promotion and development. Number 6 is soft infrastructure. Number 7 is digital society and emerging technologies. Number 8 is indigenous content promotion and development.
Wow.
These are the 8 pillars, and I'm glad to tell you we have started the implementation of each and every pillar.
Okay.
Yeah, because time will not wait for any one of us.
Yes,
so
definitely.
we have started implementation really.
You see, when you talk about digital economy, the only thing a lot of us who are quite illiterate are thinking about is how to do transactions that involves our money. You know, how to do transactions we're using our data packages. Now, I'd like to know, with all the assumed 4G network, which I think, if you ask me, honest opinion, is like 1.5 or 2G in Nigeria. How seamless is it for Nigerians to do transactions online?
I think this is a very important question. Yeah, the question focuses more on the challenges we are facing.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to quality of
services.
I think it's a very important. If you could recall, on 27 August 2019, when I resumed duty after just a few days to my appointment, I had a meeting with the regulatory body under my supervision, that is Nigerian Communications Commission. One of the issues I have given to them as short-time targets is to address the issue of quality of service, allegation of illegal data deduction, and
very important,
and even the price of data.
Yes, that's. I want to say thank you for you to that. Yes,
short targets I have given to them immediately, because I know as a Nigerian, I always try to open my ears and listen to what Nigerians are complaining. And as a political appointee, leadership is a trust.
Yes, sir.
If you are given any opportunity, it is mandatory for you to do the best you can. If you feel you cannot do, it's better to vacate the seat for someone to come and occupy it. So it is because of that perception I mandated them to address the issue, including even the issue of unregistered cards, SIM, in which at least they are registered, and at the same time blocked around 9.2 million SIMs all in all. This was achieved within the first 1 month. On the issue of our quality of service, actually we have a problem in Nigeria where we don't have a system, an independent system to manage and at the same time to measure the quality of service. This is what I discovered the first time I came. Usually consumers always complain about quality of service, which I agree with them, and I'm also one of them. Secondly, when you discuss with regulators, they will always provide a data to you that the quality of service is okay. So, if you ask them to verify, the way they arrive at that is only from the report they have been receiving from the operators. So it is because of this. The first thing that I did now is to compel the regulators to start working on an independent system that will be able to be very objective and monitor the quality of service and take decision based on that. So it is because we are in the process. It's part of the policy I have given to them, which it is my responsibility to give policy to the regulator. So this is part of the policy I have given to them. And this is number one. And number two as well, when people complain about quality of data, I always forward to them to immediately review and see how that can be improved. Because of that effort of I have been sending to them, urging them to do, a lot has been achieved. I believe the quality could not be sufficient and very good in some places, but in other places there is a significant improvement
in the quality
when it comes to the quality of service. However, the operators usually complain about the challenges they are facing in the industry. Number one, like power supply. Usually power, very stable power, plays a significant role in the quality of service. Today, we are making progress in power generation, but still not yet enough.
Yeah, true.
As of 27th of December 2019, these mobile network operators were managing over 32,000 generators in Nigeria.
Wow.
Wow.
32,000.
That's big money.
It's big and it's not easy.
Overhead.
So, yeah, look at the size of Nigeria, the population. If you are to provide data and everything using generators and 32,000, for you to manage it is not easy.
Okay,
Secondly,
I guess that explains why sometimes we complain about high cost of data and reduce it is not coming down.
No, it's coming down.
It's coming down, actually. I wanted to say, yeah.
It's coming down.
Okay.
Really.
It's the quality.
All right, so we believe it's coming down. We want the quality to equally. While the price is going down, the quality should go up. Now, Honorable Minister.
And this is what we have been working on.
Honorable Minister, a lot of messages are coming in, and you'll get to answer them. Nigerians want to speak with you. All right, the show is still on. It's Weekend Deal on your largest television network in Africa, the NTA. And we still have seated with us the Minister for Communication and Digital Economy. The Honorable, the Sheikh himself is still seated here. Lots of questions are here. We're going to take them one by one. Let me quickly take one and one or two, maybe ones that look alike. Good morning. My question is, what are they doing on free Wi-Fi for Nigeria? You know, like some other countries.
I think this is a very important question, and there are countries where they have free Wi-Fi, particularly in some selected areas like airports, the market.
Does it even work?
Schools. Yeah, it works. However, the speed could not be, I mean, other countries.
No, I mean in Nigeria, you say airports.
In Nigeria, really, we are working on that, and most probably we'll start pilot program of providing free Wi-Fi in some selected states and selected places like here, Abuja, and few other places. There was a plan like this while I was at the National Information Technology Development Agency, but the reason why we couldn't continue, it was offered to us by a multinational company, and there wasn't any guarantee of data protection. So because of this, we felt it was not good for us to allow that to go ahead, because most probably there is going to be data breach, and because of this we couldn't proceed. But now federal government is considering the need for providing free internet in some selected places, which I think we are on track. Most probably we'll begin with Galaxy Backbone Limited, which is the federal government company, and that is what we are planning to do. So it's part of what we have in the pipeline now, and I do hope that we'll start enjoying that sooner. That is our plan, really.
I know my sister has a question for you, but let me quickly take this. They don't get to write their names, but somebody here did. Abubakar Ahmed from Maiduguri says, I welcome our Honorable Minister Isa Ali Pantami. He says, I want to know the difference between internet and ICT and network.
Actually, internet, firstly, ICT is the general term, that is information and communications technology. There are three words. The first one is information, the second one is communications, and the third one is technology. Before, it was information technology independently and communications technology independently. Now they converge. Because of that convergence, the phrase became information and communications technology. And now after the convergence, they are interwoven to the extent that there is no any line of demarcation. So that is what brought about digital technologies. It is the convergence, and the convergence happens to the extent that you will not be able to draw a line of demarcation. That is what brought about digital technology today. So ICT is about the facilities of information and the communications technology converge and interwoven, while internet is just the ability to transfer data or information from one point to another. So it is because of this, internet is part and parcel of ICT. It is only a branch, while network, it is almost the same, because they are the facilities being used to communicate. It's just the channel of the communications, the way you establish the channel to communicate from one point to another is your own network, while the technology itself is ICT, while internet is only a part and parcel of the technology, that is the transfer of data from one point to another. In somebody, that is just the explanation.
No, I'm smiling. I feel like I'm in one GST course.
I'm
like
really
that.
enjoying. I'm learning.
Teaching us use of science and internet.
Okay, let me ask this question. There's something that happens. I'm going to bring it down to our everyday life.
Yeah.
A new operator comes into the market.
Yeah.
He's so popular. Few people go to test.
Yeah.
Before you know it, they sing their praises. Everybody's like, oh, go for this one. They're the best. And we all rush there.
Yeah.
The moment we all rush there, the services goes from 10 to 0.
Yeah.
What happens? And is there any way you can actually, is there any punitive measures for these people? Because they take our monies. All you can take is 10 people for what you can't provide. Yeah. And then your stories have gone around how fast it is, how wonderful. And because we Nigerians, of course, everybody working now, we want internet to do one thing or the other. And then we all rush there. The moment people go there, the services just goes down to 0. Yeah. What can be done? Why is it like that, number one? And are there any punitive measures for people like that? Because I'm thinking if I open a business, I should foresee my plan is for the business to grow. Yeah. And the moment their business grows, that's what happens in this climate, in Nigeria especially. The moment they'll tell you, there are too many people. Yeah. And I don't understand, Honorable Minister.
Actually, I think this is also another very important question. Since after my appointment, it has been my target to ensure that there is improvement in the communication sector. And in real sense, I'm witnessing an achievement in that area, and I can see that the operators and regulators are improving by the day. Okay. No question about this. As you observe, it is all about supervision and regulation. When the supervisors and regulators fail to do their work, in any country, operators do the way they like. That is why there is always monitoring, close monitoring, supervision, and evaluation of what they have been doing. And in real sense, we are doing it now. Whenever we see anything that is not going right, we ask for the policy we have in place, review it, see whether there is enforcement or not. I always ask for regulatory instruments to see whether the situation on ground agrees with the regulatory instrument we have in place. I have been doing that. On the quality of service, I have been doing that. Another issue that maybe you discovered recently, even voicemail. Before they activated voicemail by default. And Nigerians, we are not addicted to, we are not so much inclined to voice messages. And through this, Nigerians used to spend money without even their knowledge, because you call someone without your knowledge, it just enters into the voicemail, and they will start deducting your money, connecting rate, termination rate, and the rest. We stop it now, because it is not part of our quality of service, and it is just an exploitation. So now you cannot hear it. It's part of what we have been doing as part of our supervision, to draw the attention of the regulators and ensure that right things are being done. So because of that question you have asked, I think now I'm also working on policy. That policy will be given to the regulators, because according to NCA 2003, the entire policy of ICT sector, formulation of the policy, monitoring of the implementation, and supervision lie in the office of the minister in charge of our communication. So it is because of this, it is my responsibility to come up with policy, and that policy will be given to the regulators. The regulator will use the policy to come up with regulatory instrument based on the policy given to them. I had been working on that policy to ensure that operators will be given targets of what to achieve within a year. Because now most of the operators, they only look at areas where they are profitable. And you will clearly see that there is more of a concentration in some selected places. Even the network in other places is not available. Yes. As of today, we have around 193 access gaps in Nigeria, with close to 38 million people without even access to ICT, or rather internet connectivity. Yes, around 38 million people, which is enough to be another country of itself.
Wow.
So we have been working on that. I am telling you, what we want to do on this is to ensure that they are given a target. And secondly, to encourage shared infrastructure. Because sometimes if you feel your infrastructure cannot accommodate the customers, it is allowed for you to have an agreement with another operator that has much availability, infrastructure in place so that you can share his own facilities and be paying certain amount of money from time to time like you are renting. So that is why shared infrastructure is also encouraged, because the expansion could not be possible at once. But you are yet to arrive there, or you arrive, but the facilities cannot accommodate your customers. So, and your colleague, another investor, has facilities there that can support you and complement your own. It is in this regard the shared infrastructure can be done. Don't forget that we have a National Broadband Plan Committee that is working to develop the broadband plan for Nigeria from 2020 to 2025. The report could be ready in the second week of February. This is one of the issues that Broadband Committee is addressing. Even yesterday I was with the committee. If you go online, you can see the images. So this is one of the issues that Broadband Committee is working on, the issue of how to maximize the utilization of infrastructure to encourage using the same infrastructure by many mobile operators. That will bring the cost of maintenance down for them. And if the cost of maintenance drops down, then most probably it will make the data and the calls much more cheaper.
All right. Thank you very much. We look forward to that. And just in line with what you're saying, somebody asked a question here. Good morning, Dr. Pantami. Please, sir, what is your ministry doing regarding data validity period? That's from Danjani. And I guess you already answered that in your discussion. So let's quickly move in. In Sabongiri, Gosol, they just brought light a day. We have light, no more than 3 hours. Okay, this one is talking about power. Sorry, we're not doing power business today. Congratulations to the Honorable Minister for doing a good job and making us proud from Gombe State. I want to know what the Honorable Minister is doing to help states get the right taxes for the telecommunication companies, and is there any platform for the government, federal government now, to train staff of states on ICT? Thank you very much. That's from Mauzu. Barrister Halson. And we'll take one more, then you comment as much as you can. We thank our Honorable Minister. Sir, what is your ministry doing about cybercrime in the ICT? From Abdulkabi, Ibadan, Oyo State.
I think you asked almost 3 questions.
At the same time.
With regards to taxes and challenges of telecommunications, on 21st January 2020, just less than a week today, I had a meeting with Nigeria Governors Forum through their chairman, the governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Faye Mikayode. I addressed the Nigerian Governors Forum. I had a discussion with them, try to bring at least understanding between the operators on one hand and the governors on the other, because there are many conflicts going on with regards to multiple taxation, right of way, vandalization of their resources, and many more. The meeting was very fruitful. We addressed most of the issues, and I believe that even those who accompanied me for the meeting, like the EVC of NCC, DG NIDA, and the chairperson of our National Broadband Plan Committee, Ms. Funke Opeke, all of them were convinced that at least we have delivered a minimum of 97% of the mission.
Oh, really?
Through
That's
the
great.
meeting, yeah. So I think that meeting now is the foundation of bringing that understanding and see. And even the governors raised some issues with regards to paying tax, which I directed the regulator NCC to immediately intervene and resolve the issue. So there was a misunderstanding, but as far as I'm concerned, now it's over. Because the chairman of our governors forum even said that, Honorable Minister, all the issues we have discussed here are over. I assure you we will not come back again with the same observation. Secondly, when it comes to what federal government has been doing to help teach, or rather to support states in terms of ICT
training,
part of the discussion I had with them, federal government is willing to support states by developing state digital economic policy, or rather strategy for each and every state. We will start with 10 states that are so passionate about the project, because national digital economy policy and strategy for a digital Nigeria can not only be implemented by the federal government. Federal government will play a role, and each and every state must key into before it becomes very successful. That cannot be done at once, but we are supporting the state. Any state that indicates its willingness, we will go there, set up a committee, partake in feasibility studies, customize our own digital economy strategy, and see how it can fit into that state. And we train them, we provide intervention for them to start the program immediately.
So the state must have interest.
Yeah, that interest is very important. Without interest, nothing can be done. That is number one. And when it comes to training, we are organizing trainings, either through the ministry or through the parastatals being supervised by the ministry. There are many trainings under NITDA, trainings under NCC, there are trainings under Galaxy Backbone Limited. We have been organizing trainings.
Are these trainings made open for people?
Public? Yeah, they are. Usually they are. We have training for women, training for people even with disabilities, training for children on coding, training for unemployed youth to provide the digital skills and make them entrepreneurs. We have many trainings. When it comes to civil servants, we recently commissioned our e-government training center in Public Service Institute. It is a world-class e-government center, and the reason for establishing the center is to train and retrain our civil servants so that they can get prepared to migrate from our manual governance to electronic governance. And now we are in the process, and we have even started training them. And I do hope that we can achieve a lot within the period of time we have.
The last person talked about cybercrime. I mean, you can't do business if you're not sure of security.
That is very important. We have so many things in place, at least to reduce the rate of cybercrime in Nigeria. As they say, firstly, what is most important is creating awareness. That is why while I was at NITDA, I established a cybersecurity department. There wasn't before. Now at the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, when I was appointed, there was no cybersecurity department. But now we are at least very active on the cybersecurity. What we have in place is even more than a department today. So what is key in fighting cybercrime is creating awareness. Let people know that when you are online, you are exposed. It is mandatory for you to take some precautions and ensure that at least your information is not compromised. As they say, cybercrime moves at the speed of light.
Yes.
While cybersecurity moves at the speed of law. You know the speed of law, the process of reading the bill one step. Some bills can stay in some places for over 10 years. But you know the speed of light.
Yes, sir.
So cybercrime, the speed is that of light, while cyber security is the speed of law. But what is important is that creating awareness. Create awareness, people to know when they are online, they are exposed. Secondly, the measures they need to take in order to protect themselves. We have so many trainings now in place on cybersecurity, including training MDAs. And we have advisory committee. We have computer emergency response and readiness team in place now, that whenever we see any potential attack on Nigeria, we notify relevant stakeholders to take precautions. And if you can recall, during WannaCry attack, Nigeria was not affected badly, but it was part of the countries that were attacked. Why? Because immediately we discovered about the attack, we alerted all our institutions, particularly those that had huge data. Over the weekend, we collected even the patches from Microsoft headquarters in Seattle. At the weekend, we distributed the patches and they updated their operating systems. That is why the attack on Nigeria was not even up to 0.5% of what they planned to achieve.
Oh, wow.
You know,
so this is proactiveness.
Weekend Deal.
All right, it's still Weekend Deal, and coming back, we have messages, lots of it. Our time is almost running out. Somebody says here, my name is Chioma. I am 12 years old. I'm happy to watch Weekend Deal. Thank you. We're also happy to have you. Government is trying, but the people in charge of anchor borrowers are not helping the situation. Bank of Agriculture and CBN officials are sabotaging government. Well, that's it's okay. We thank you. And hi, I'm Ondoma from Benue. Sorry. How can I reach Newsline crew to do a story about Nigerian Army War veteran who fought he has an amazing story. Okay, that's okay. We'll reach you at the back of the program, but not today. All right, so we also take this last one. There's so many of them. Thank you, People's Government of... I don't know whether he wrote in English, but I'll leave it. But anyway, there are lots of questions here. We intend to, continue at the end of the program. If the Honourable Minister has time, he will reply you one by one. But for now, sir, I would like to have your final word.
So thank you very much for providing this opportunity for me to come here and interact with fellow Nigerians. I am thankful for that. And the mission and the vision for achieving a digital Nigeria is a collective one. Each and everyone has a role to play. Digital technologies are not for only socialization. Most importantly, they should be for economic development. Jobs are being created today. In ICT, certificates are important. But if that certificates are overloaded with skills, without skills, then certificates are useless and also misleading. Our youth should focus more on digital skills, come up with innovative ideas, crazy ideas that can change the whole world. We are willing to support them, to mentor them, to provide seed funding for them. That is the same way people like Jeffrey Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates emerge.
Yes.
So we want to have our own version of Jeffrey Bezos, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg in Nigeria, which I think is very important. Let us utilize the skills we have. Let us utilize the intelligence we have to come up with ideas that can change our country or the world. Let us avoid using digital technologies to cause disunity in our country. Today, even with social media, you can generate revenue for yourself. Cristiano Ronaldo, a footballer of Juventus, said that what he generated in 2018, using Instagram for paid advert is much higher than his salary and allowances combined together. And he was the second most paid footballer globally. Why? Because people now use social media to generate revenue. But in Nigeria, we are more interested in using social media to cause disunity. I think digital economy is about using the technology to support ourselves individually and collectively. Let us change our perception.
Well,
thank you very much.
What he's saying that we must redirect our energies positively on social media or even on the internet. While we are doing that, let's go to channel 10 where their focus is on the digital economy and transportation.
Tomorrow we will continue from where we stopped on digital economy. God bless Nigeria.
God bless us all.